Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the managing director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. As the title of this video suggests, we're discussing K-1 fiancé visas. Specifically, we're discussing the affidavit of support. I actually thought of making this video after reading a recent article from the Pattaya Mail, which I will get to in a minute. And after reading the article, I realized, oh, this is one of those instances where I get to sort of use a piece like the article to provide some insight in kind of a refractory way, sort of comparative law. So let me just dig into it. As I said, this is from Pattaya Mail, pattayamail.com. Article is titled, Pattaya Brits join the campaign against new British visa regulations. Quoting directly, a group of Brits currently in Pattaya have written to UK Premier Rishi Sunak to complain about the latest family visa rule changes which require a sponsor to have £38,700 in salary or pensions before a spouse or family member can be considered for entry to Britain. The current floor is £18,600, with the changes due to be introduced early next year. However, British government ministers have in recent days talked of, quote, transitional arrangements, unquote, which likely mean the huge increase will apply only to new applications and not to those already in UK who need to apply for an extension on their initial time allowance of 30 months. So again, British immigration, very different than US immigration. I'm not even going to try to do a deep dive into how British immigration works because I just don't know. It's beyond the bailiwick of this channel. It's beyond the bailiwick of my expertise. That said, again, this is kind of an example of comparative law. We're talking about affidavits of support associated with K-1 fiancé visas. And for those who want to bring a fiancé back to the United States, you have a similar issue that it appears British folks have with regards to getting visas for family members back to the UK, which is you need to show at least a minimal amount of financial ability to support one's fiancé in the United States. And in the case of the fiancé visa, or in the case of any affidavit of support for that matter, unless one is in the US military service, which I'll make a video contemporaneously with this one where we will discuss that. But you are looking at needing to show an income of some sort which is 125% of the federal poverty guidelines in the United States. So that will rise over time. Again, a difference apparently between the UK immigration system and the US immigration system is that they apparently set a sort of a set mark, and they're now changing it apparently, or they're getting ready to change it. In the US, again, it's a percentage of the federal poverty guidelines, so that may change from year to year. In my opinion, that's probably a better way to do it because it's kind of reflective of the reality on the ground, or more reflective, I should say, notwithstanding the fact that they, oftentimes things like the consumer price index are kind of manipulated and things of this. Manipulated might be the wrong word, but they're viewed through certain lenses that make things look more positive. Long story short, again, 125% of the federal poverty guideline is generally the financial criteria one needs to meet in terms of income in order to meet the criteria for an affidavit of support associated with a fiancé visa to the United States of America.